This is the subprojects page for superintendents. You'll see that the subprojects are broken up into 4 categories. You have your active subprojects, which is what your crews are currently assigned to. Below that, you will have queued subprojects. This is basically your list of next up projects for each of your rigs. And you can scroll over a little bit. You'll see that there's a status column here for queued subprojects. Some of them will say next, and that usually means that that is the very next well that a rig will be going to. Or you might see that it says queued, and queued just means that it's a little bit farther down the list. It might not be the very next, but maybe the second or third or fourth in line for your specific rig. Below your queued subprojects, you'll have pending subprojects. These are subprojects that have been assigned but are not quite ready for work for one reason or another. So they can't actually be assigned to the queue to actually move to those rigs yet until the requirements have been met. Oftentimes that can be regulatory documentation that's missing or bid information. But for one reason or another, these are not quite ready for work yet. So these will just be listed as pending. And then below those, you'll have your historic subprojects. And historic subprojects are basically just everything that you have completed in the past. As with other pages, there is a search menu at the top of each of these windows that you can use to look for a specific well, if you have one in mind that you want to look at. And then if you want more information on a subproject, you can just click on it, and it will take you to a list of the DWRs for that project. So you can click on the DWRs as well to get more information for them. And also, if you want to change the information that's available in this report, you can click this Customize Columns button up here and change the columns that are available. So for example, if you wanted to see which ones had been approved and who they were approved by, you could just come into Customize Columns and click those on, and then you'll be able to see that information alongside everything else that was here by default. Up here in the top right, above that Customize Columns button, you'll have this blue button right now. It says Daily Records because that's what we are looking at for the subprojects. But you can basically use this button to navigate to a list of other views for the subproject. So well info, subprojects. This subprojects button would take you to a list of all of the other subprojects affiliated with this well. So, you know, if this is a P&A subproject, but there was also a wellhead cutoff subproject for the same well, you could go to subprojects and then that would link you to a page where you could see both. You could view subproject info. This report might be particularly helpful for you, as if you come here and then scroll down to the bottom, you can see bid management, regulatory management, and inspection management. These are key to if a well is going to be approved for work, right? If you had something that was in the pending status because it wasn't quite eligible, this is where you could come to see if indeed it had the W3, regulatory or inspection. If anything was missing here, this is where you would want to come to check and then to add anything if it wasn't already there. So this project info tab is going to be important for you. We already saw the daily records. That was the default view. There's also this summary tab that could be helpful. Here, you can basically just see some aggregated financial and cost breakdowns. You see general, which is broken up by day, hours, NPT, etc. You can see in these tabs costs that are broken down by on and off turnkey, as well as combined. And then here on this final tab down here, you'll see documents. Sorry, this happened with this well earlier. I'll show you what this can look like for a good one though. This will show you all of the documents that are attached to the subproject that you were looking at. Sorry about the Garcia one. That one seemed to be bugged, but usually it will work just fine. You can come to this documents tab and then see everything that has been assigned to the subproject over time.